Welcome back to Mental Fitness. My name is Mr. Payton. Been putting out some content about some general ideas along the lines of how we can strengthen our minds and connect them to our hearts so that we can have a healthier and more positive experience. Today I'd like to give you some tips that are a bit more practical and that hopefully will be useful to you in the classroom. The first tip I'd like to give is just we need to wake up a little earlier. I can't tell you how many times I go on the campus and someone told me they literally woke up 15 minutes before I saw them. So, that means they just threw on their clothes, probably more than likely didn't eat. Don't know if they're even brushing their teeth. And I don't want to get too much into people's personal hygiene, but the point is that I don't know how you can possibly have a truly productive day if you got up 15 minutes before you needed to start class. So that's first and foremost. Another one that we probably need to discuss is how we eat. And I like to say eat for performance. If you think about some of your favorite athletes, even some of your favorite actors or actresses, people who make their living with their voice or their body or their ability to do something, make sure that they eat a certain way. They don't want to eat things that are going to make them tired at a certain point. They don't want to eat things that are going to make their skin look bad. And so I would say we need to think about what our performance is, whether it's academics, athletics, if you're a streamer, whatever it is you do, you need to make sure you're eating so that you can maximize your ability to do that job. Now let's dig a little bit into some of the things that you actually do in school. Next up, I would say is that read to gain knowledge. I know some of you may not be readers, and I'm not someone who enjoys reading myself. I mean, I'm good at reading, and if I find a topic I want to read about, I will read everything I can find on it, and I kind of like binge read. But I'm not the kind of person who just says, hey, I want to curl up with a good book. I'm not really into fiction or anything like that. But when you're reading, don't think about it as this chore or task. Think about it as an opportunity to improve your mind. Next, I would say we need to take a look at writing. Again, writing is one of those things that's very difficult. Trust me when I tell you, I've written several books, and so I can tell you, writing is difficult because it requires so many skills and so much analysis and synthesis. But when you are writing, just think about writing to communicate. Just make sure that what it is that you want to say is coming through in your writing piece, whether that's for an essay or a report or whatever. You want to practice that so that when you're looking for jobs, or even when you're potentially at some point a parent, you're trying to communicate with your child, you want to be able to say the things that you need to say in a very clear manner. Something that's probably relevant for this time of the year, it happens to be February. And so people talk about Black history, and then some people are wondering if we should or shouldn't celebrate it. I would simply say this: learn history to improve your future. Be aware of what's happened in the past, be it racial, government, war, international affairs. Learn history so you understand what happened in the past, so that you can clearly assess what's going on in your life and make sure that you have a positive future. Next up is science. For a lot of people, science is very difficult, and for a lot of people, it's quite honestly, it's boring. But if you think about science, science is all about how we live. It has to do with what we eat. It has to do with how our bodies work. And so if for no other reason, you should learn science for a very selfish reason, just so you can take care of your bodies better. And then I would probably say that one thing that I notice a lot too in the classroom in terms of where kids struggle is math. Everybody is like, man, math is so difficult. And if you find yourself drifting during math class, you're like, man, I just don't want to be here. I want to do this. Think about it this way. Math is the language of money. And I know most of you like money. You want to make money. You want to have a good life. And so learn the math so you can understand how to balance your accounts and understand what interest means so you can understand how to invest, or when you have to take out loans for a car or a house, you understand how that's going to work. So math is extremely practical. Not all of it is potentially useful on a daily basis, but it is useful in life. And so I would encourage you to use that as motivation when you're trying to learn a math lesson, that, hey, this is going to make me money someday if I can figure it out. And finally, this one is a bit pet peeve for me, just in life in general. I think we struggle with this, but pay attention. Pay attention. And paying attention looks different for a lot of people. For some of us, it's taking notes. For some of us, it's looking directly at the teacher. For some of us, it's having the book open and making sure we're following along, but develop the skill of being able to pay attention to things for an extended period of time. We are in a culture now where things come very quickly, where we can cook quickly, we can order food quickly, everything happens fast. So I think we've lost our ability to wait. I think we've lost our ability to be patient. And that's very important if you want to be a successful person. Whether you're going to try to start a business, study in college, become an athlete, you're going to have to know how to be patient. You have to learn how to wait your turn and let things develop. And so these are just a few tips for success for students or non-students. And it's a part of my approach to life, which I call mental fitness, which is designed to help all people struggle with some of these things, help us deal with the things we're struggling with in terms of possibly mental health or just our ability to function well cognitively. So this has been another episode of Mental Fitness. Thank you and have a great day.